My name is Brian Eason. I'm the president of Quality Iron Fabricators. We've always looked to get better at things, more efficient, bigger. Getting bigger has kind of come along with that. As we grew, we got into the larger structural, but we never did away with the miscellaneous as well and just became either a structural or a miscellaneous fabricator. Quality Iron has 3 production facilities, one in Louisiana, one in Tennessee, and one in Mississippi. We're here in Hammond, Louisiana, where we run a lot of our structural, thanks in part to our predominance of our Voortman equipment that we have here. We also have Voortman equipment in our Memphis facility. Houston, Mississippi, our miscellaneous division, they can run the structural, more geared towards the miscellaneous, and down here in Louisiana, where they can run miscellaneous and structural, but more geared to the structural. Gives a good balance for the entire company overall, and we're glad to have the Voortman equipment to help make it possible. Obviously, we settled on Voortman, not only because of the individual machines and their abilities, but also the complete integration that those machines offer. For our saw, we have the VB1250 that's tied in with our transfer conveyors over to the V630, the drill line. That has another transfer coming off the outfeed of it before it goes into the V808, the automated coper. One of the big things that impressed us was the integration of all of them. I was walking into the shop the other day. The drill line was drilling, the saw was sawing, and they completed their operation, and the completed pieces were moving out the conveyor. The next piece was moving in. The transfer was transferring pieces across the table. And I turned to my partner and I said, "Do you notice anything?" He said, "What?" I said, "There's no one in the building." There was no one was at the saw, no one was at the drill line. Shortly I did see the saw operator come in. He had been loading the infeed table of the saw line, and the rest, all the equipment was running on its own. So that's been a big difference. We've seen a lot less activity with operators on the floor, and a lot of the work is already done as far as the setup when it comes in from the detailer. With our detailing software, we use Design Data and Tekla X Steel. We find that it flows very easily with our equipment, and bringing the detail work in goes through FabTrol. We utilize that a lot, and they integrate very well. So that kind of brought us to, the setup here in Louisiana being predominantly the X Steel and FabTrol, and of course the Voortman. This is our VB1250. It's got a 50-inch capacity. It's about a 24-inch capacity. It's the beginning of our entire system. The operator out here is telling the machine what stock lengths it's loading on the infeed. From that point, the saw and the entire system pretty much takes over. It knows what nested pieces are coming out of those stock lengths. So it's cutting those pieces. When they're done, it's moving one piece out while the next piece is already coming in, and it's keeping up with the piece mark, where that piece goes, whether it goes straight down to the coper or whether it goes on to the drill line. It can all do it, as you can see, without an operator here even at the station. This is our V630. Really like this machine. It can not only do all the drilling, but we have the layout capabilities on both flanges and the top and the bottom of the web. So every piece has had a dramatic improvement to our overall production. Tying them together has been a very big step up. My saw operator, my drill line operator, my coper, they all use the same software, so they can easily move between machines, and they're not tied down to one machine, having to stay right here watching it do its job. When the saw gets through, it moves a piece down here. The drill line already knows what piece is coming. So that's been a dramatic improvement to keeping the overall process moving, increasing production time while people are off doing other tasks.
This is our V808, truly remarkable machine. I think it's been a big jump in the technology going to the robotic arm with the plasma torch. Not only can it come in and do the copes, it can cut the holes, but it can go to the bottom side of the piece, do layout on the underside as well as the top. It allows for a lot of versatility. All in one package here, we can run 60-foot material and have from raw off the truck 60-foot stock lengths to finished pieces all in one piece of equipment. At Quality Iron's Memphis facility, one of our big production pieces of equipment up there is our plate machine, the V320C. It has a 3-inch capacity, it's got a 20-foot infeed, so we can run 20-foot sheets in there with the gripping mechanism allows us to run all the way up to the edge of the plate. It can drill holes, it can burn holes with the hypertherm plasma. The plasma can, pretty much, lay out any shape that you can get onto an NC1 file. It can turn the pressure down, and you can scribe, you can lay out, you can piece mark. When we first got it, we estimated that it would run less than full time, but I don't think it stopped. It can run just about anything we throw at it. So in our Quality Iron's Memphis facility, that is a piece that's really paid for itself in a very short period of time. This is our V505, our angle line. This one, it can obviously sort between phases on a job, whether it's kicking into the left or right side on the out feed, or whether it's going between jobs, maybe running all the same shapes, but it's been sorted to run separate jobs. Well, it can kick it to the left or right. Definitely one of your first pieces to consider when you're starting up any shop, but it's obviously a great little workhorse in our operation.
We do a wide variety of work, and that's one thing that we've really liked about our integrated Voortman system is the flexibility that it has. We can run some of the larger structural sections, of course, through there very quickly, very efficiently. Right now we're doing the arena in New Orleans, which is a renovation in addition to a lot of new structural, and so it's a perfect job to illustrate both those aspects. We have a lot of interior demolition renovation work with small sections, monumental type architectural steel that it's big, it's meant to look big, it's meant to be impressive, and it all goes through the same machine here. But we can already see dramatic improvement in the time it takes to get the material to the fitters and through the shop floor. So much so that we're really being challenged right now working the balance between the equipment and the people on the floor as our normal expectations about what's a proper balance has been kind of shifted somewhat, so that now the equipment is really putting the pressure on the back half of the shop to get the rest of the work out.
Well, with this latest expansion, obviously the technology that we have right now has played a big part into making a lot of it happen, but we've got a lot more space here, and at the time, we're going to kind of just analyze where we are. This is kind of the phase one of a lot of other phases that we can already see the need for, and in this market and the new markets that we've gotten into, we already see the need for growth.